Hello, everyone. It's time for Tami's Take here on the Crown City Network. Tami's Take is the crossroads of politics and pop culture. I'm Tami DeVine. This is my take. Take it or leave it. I hope you'll take it to heart. A special AI edition of Tami's Take today. That's artificial intelligence. Apparently, our world is headed toward what we see in many Hollywood movies, the extinction of the human race as artificial intelligence takes over. No, we're not talking sci-fi today. This is blowing my mind. It'll probably blow your mind too. Cyber expert Erik Laykin joins us to explain all of this. Erik, thanks for being here. So first, okay, I want to establish that this isn't just some guy out of here saying the robots are taking over. You have like serious expertise in this area, correct?
I do. My focus is data and technology, particularly in the world of fraud and crime, cybercrime, computer forensics, and this world of electronic uncertainty.
Uncertainty, I think, is the right word for it. So you've worked with the government, like the FBI and other serious government agencies, right?
Mainly corporate work for large corporations that are facing issues, but absolutely for many governments around the world as well.
Oh, around the world,
including our own.
My gosh. Okay. All right. So you have to stay plugged in to all of these things going on, like the artificial intelligence with like all the stuff going on with Google. I mean, Google has made a machine that like runs, over any kind of terrain. It looks freaky. It's like the scariest thing, but it can do this thing. It's a robot. Facebook has its own AI that they're working on. We're talking about robotic cars now that drive themselves. So you have to stay plugged into all of this. Does anything ever blow your mind? Like, wow, this is amazing.
Well, things are blowing my mind every day. I mean, you mentioned Google and their machine they built. If you back up and look at it from the big picture, Google is the machine.
It is.
And it has replaced memory.
Yeah.
Why know anything anymore?
That's right.
Google it.
We don't need calculators. We don't need paper dictionaries. We don't need to know how to spell because Google, fills in everything that we're trying to spell. It already knows what we're trying to spell just by one letter that we put in.
That's right.
That's crazy.
And then if you go to the market, for instance, and you check out, you now have a robot that checks you out. See,
Right.
People in popular imagination think of robots as, a man with walking like this. Robots won't look like that.
Right.
Robots are are very highly defined and highly able machines, like a checkout machine at Vaughn's or Ralph's, who will replace the human.
Yeah, the creepy thing is that when you're online with these robots, though, with the computer and all of that, they follow you around everywhere. Now, do you work with that stuff, that kind of technology?
Well, I'm actually very worried about that type of technology,
Okay,
and it's really part of our new reality.
Yeah.
Because the data that is created by the Facebooks and the Googles and the Twitters, et cetera, of the world, the Amazons of the world, this data is really the lifeblood of the cyber ecosystem that is empowering the robotic nature of interaction between humans and machines.
Yeah.
And so they have to follow you so that they understand your patterns so that they're able to then leverage that data to make your life more convenient.
I just want to find out if you're like the mad scientist behind some of these things.
Well, I'm waiting for my artificial intelligence chip. I could use a few extra brain cells. Yes.
Okay, so what about that stuff like on the cartoons, like when you have the head, the brain in the jar and that kind of thing? I mean, I saw an article recently where they're like literally taking your memories now and uploading them. I got all excited there with my That's scary. Is that really happening?
I think it'll happen, absolutely.
But it hasn't happened yet.
Well, no, but
Okay.
but memories and the data that you store in your brain, this will you'll be able to transfer this into an electronic format.
How can they take something that is ethereal?
In the crudest way, Facebook. Facebook is becoming your memory store with all of your thoughts, your ideas, your photographs of your family.
You put it all out there.
You put it all out there, and so if the machine is able to then start to think and react and leverage those data points, it'll eventually be able to serve for you as your memory. Another convenience factor. Why remember anything?
Crazy, yeah. So yeah, so you can live on. Basically, this is a search for immortality, isn't it?
It is interesting, isn't it? I think that as machines become self-aware, you will have immortality for the humans that are lucky enough to have their personages absorbed by the computers. See, we're heading to what I term the data state, where the data and I'm calling it very loosely the machine, but really it's millions of machines around the world, the Googles of the world, the Alexas of the world, in the future, not the current generation, but 10 generations from now. These machines will encapsulate all data and all memory and all interaction. So we're heading towards this data state. And it's not a far-fetched thought. Look at the last 500 years. We've gone from the age of enlightenment to the age of reason, to the Industrial Revolution just 150 years ago, to the information revolution of the last 25 years. We're now entering into what I call the intelligence revolution. We're taking all of this information that we're collecting and we're starting to make use of it in an intelligent fashion. Take a look at IBM's Watson program, which has the ability to synthesize data in so many new ways. And then you take all of the sensors that are out there around the world, which we call IoT, or the Internet of Things, and you now have these feeds everywhere you walk. There's a camera, there's a sensor, there's a device, whether it's Alexa, whether it's your Tesla, whether it's your phone, and it's all feeding in.
It's Minority Report. I don't know. I know I'm not supposed to talk movies with you. I get it. I understand. But I'm so into movies. And I know people watching are so into movies. I remember Minority Report where they could predict what you were going to do before you did it. Especially if you're a criminal, you know. And that is literally happening. Like, I don't know, almost every day I'm like, that's like from Minority Report.
Oh, certainly.
And things that are happening right now.
Well, we call it predictive analytics.
Yeah.
And predictive analytics is absolutely used now to try to understand what the next move of the terrorist will be, or of the bad guy in the battlefield, or the retail shopper who's walking into the store, and you want to know, are they going to go right or are they going to go left? If they go right, what are they going to look for? Now, if you understand the profile of your shopper because they've given you all their information off that little tag that you swipe when they walk into the store, you can start feeding information to that shopper in the store as they walk through the process.
And pretty soon they're going to do it by your eyes, you know? They can already identify you with eye scans.
Eyes, certainly,
So
and implantable chips, of course, which will...
That's getting into 666 territory there.
But it actually exists.
It does.
Oh, yes.
The RFID chip.
You're able to insert an RFID chip now into your skin. It's about the size of a grain of rice.
I ain't doing it.
Well, wait for generation 2 at least.
I'm like, I don't want anything to do with that. That's the beast right there. But let's move into like Ex Machina for the movie people out there. We'll move into Ex Machina, where the robots become self-aware, the machines become self-aware. How in the world does a robot, an artificial being, actually be able to make its own decisions without a human telling it what to do? Because you're telling me that humans are going to be extinct. We're going to program ourselves out of existence, basically.
Well, I think there'll be a few of us still floating around. We might have to go back to caveman living, but actually, I think there will be a symbiotic relationship between humans and machines in the future. I'm going forward 100 years and further.
100 years.
100 years and further.
Not 50, not 25.
Well, we're seeing it every year. I'll give you an example. Alexa, in your home, you're speaking to it, it's speaking back.
Yeah.
Right now, it's relatively a dumb machine because it's only relying upon what has been pre-programmed or what it's pulling off of internet sites. But as those machines start to be able to formulate opinions and ideas, they're going to have a much greater impact on you. And eventually, you'll be in court, for instance, and Alexa, who is the witness to the murder,
Alexa will be a witness.
Will sit on the stand. And will
she'll be a little speaker
and will testify against you because they will know what now
she'll testify against you because she knows everything that you've said and done in the house.
And this just happened this year. Yes.
What happened?
Alexa witnessed the murder and recorded it. We also had Alexa we had Alexa that did not witness the claimed rape that took place. And the law enforcement officials were able to show that the actual criminal activity did not take place. Same thing with a Fitbit watch, where the Fitbit is monitoring your heart rate, and you're able to disprove certain assertions. So all these various devices will have an impact.
Okay, so I'm almost out of time, but there's two things I want to get to real fast. One is why, well, let me ask about the politics that tie in. Will it ultimately be up to the politicians to decide how far we go with this? And would they sell out? I mean, they sell out for everything else, it seems like, right? Would they sell themselves out and all of human race out I mean, it does tie into politics, though, doesn't it?
It certainly ties into politics, but there's no one big event that's going to take place that will suddenly shift from humans to machines.
It's just going to slide
This is
into
a
it.
very slow, a gradual process, which we are already seeing. And certainly there's a political component to it, because there will be tension between machines and humans in the future over resources, over governance, and over ethics, and these sorts of things.
And machines probably trying to get personhood. I mean, there's movies about that. Do you see that happening?
I do see it happening, because if a machine is able to have consciousness, what is to say that it isn't a being?
Right. Oh man, that's deep stuff. Okay, and so finally, there has to be solutions. I mean, machines are good. We know this. They help us right now.
They do.
But they become bad if they get consciousness and try and wipe us out or whatever, you know?
Right. Well, I don't think they're going to need, they won't wipe us out. We'll wipe ourselves out and by introducing machines, because as you have more machines doing more things and displacing the need for human labor, there becomes less of a prerogative or a need for human labor, which means that you will have large segments of the population who will not have jobs, who will not have a purpose, and the machines will devolve. Machines will displace human labor.
There has to be a solution, though, to not get extinct because of this.
I don't think we'll be extinct. In all candor, I think what we will have is a smaller human population that is highly sort of propelled by the promise and power of machines, and eventually we'll be talking about long-term space travel. For instance, we will be able to send self-aware machines on 2,000-year voyages into space. A human couldn't sustain that, but a machine could. So essentially, our first interaction with alien societies may be a machine that is self-aware. Right. Humans will remain within the solar system, and there will always be a need for some humans, but not as many as we have today.
Which takes us into a whole nother discussion about population control and all of that stuff. There are some people that would be very happy about that, I think. But I'm going to leave it there. Mind blown. And hopefully people will have gotten something good out of this as well. Erik, thank you so much for talking with me about all of this. That's it for Tami's Take here on Crown City Network. Tami's Take is the crossroads of politics and pop culture. What you heard Erik say, that was his take. What you heard me say, that was my take. Take it or leave it. I hope you'll take it to heart. Watch us online at crowncitynetwork.com. And don't forget to catch all of our other shows on our social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. See you next time.